Well, hello guys, welcome back to the House of Valentina. I'm so pumped that you're here today because we've been looking back. Actually, we moved into this house about 9 years ago, and when we moved in, wow, were there some dated elements in this house, and we couldn't wait to get our hands on it and start working on these projects. It's taken us quite a few years. We're still working on some, and I've even got some to share with you today, some rooms that we're still working on. But when we were talking about the fact that there were so many things that were dated about our house, and we've been talking about dated trends that are coming back, and I'm like, should I paint the room back to the beige colors it was before? I can't even imagine doing that, right? So when these dated trends start coming back in, it kind of makes me feel nervous because I just got rid of some of them. So I thought it'd be really fun, I hope you'll think so too, to take you around the house, not only tell you what we've done, but actually show you some of the things that we've changed in the house that I think help the house feel really fresh and updated, and some of the things that we actually didn't rip out that might be considered dated, but we really liked and we kept. That way, as you're processing through your own home, some of the decisions that you'll be making, how do you know when to keep something and when to change it out? So we're gonna just load you up with a ton of inspiration today, give you a tour, take you into as many rooms as we have time for, and have a whole bunch of fun. So I hope you love it. I hope you stick around. Be a subscriber if you are already, and give the video a huge thumbs up. And let's get this tour started. I'm gonna have to sit my coffee cup down so that we don't make a big mess. Let's start off with when I walked into this house, when we walked into the house, the first thing I said was, this is it. And my friend that was with us was like, really? And I was like, rude. But you have to realize the room was beige and the blinds were covering all these windows and it felt very dated. So when I hear people saying, myself included, beige is coming back, I've been talking about what if I take this room beige again, and I'm like, ooh, I just shudder at the thought, you know? I really like having the white. I still do, 9 years later. This was one of the first things. Actually, we painted it gray first, and I was like, it's just kind of drab for me, so I went white, and I've loved it. I wouldn't mind painting it maybe like a taupe or something in here, but I think when you're thinking through dated trends, here's my advice to you. Part of the reason that the room doesn't feel dated is that I didn't just change the wall color, I also took down the blinds. And one of the mistakes I see people making all the time is that they don't paint the trim around their windows. It's kind of all of it. Do you know what I mean? A fresh coat of paint immediately makes the room feel updated, and also painting out the trim. The other thing that we did in here, of course, besides taking down the blinds and switching out the carpet, which I think everyone kind of knows, like everyone knows these are good upgrades to make, but also thinking about the furniture. Because a lot of what will make a room feel dated is the pairings of all the things put together. Because I was looking recently in some contemporary homes where they had the blinds, and I was like, oh, that home looks really good. I should have kept my blinds. But I think it's because it was paired up with really modern furniture that it doesn't feel outdated. So when you're thinking about your own space, you might want to think about how switching out your furniture, if you really want your blinds, maybe switching out your furniture will help the space feel updated. If you want to do a beige color in the room, what about some of the furnitures and the shapes of things that might make it feel more updated? Let's talk about something else that I didn't change. Okay, so I did actually paint out, I really like the original, whatever it's called. I was like thinking of Christmas Vacation, the Newell Post, fix a Newell Post. But I was thinking about how we had this painted out. Originally it was done in the oak color, where we had little pockets of the oak flooring in this house. Most of it was carpet. So I made a big update by painting this, and it wasn't just a money saver to just paint it. It was because I just really liked some of the original details on the house. So a lot of times I've actually sold other houses on the street, and some of the clients were saying, I'm gonna rip every single bit of this trim work out. And I was like, really? This is what I kind of liked. In fact, come over here. So one of the other families that moved into our neighborhood, they have the same fireplace. And she said, as soon as she moved in, she said, I had them rip that stuff right off. And I was like, this is one of the reasons I bought my house, because it has these little lions on it. And I loved that detail. I thought that was like the best thing ever. And I liked the fact, I mean, it's got like fruit dripping out. I mean, this is actually like really cool stuff. And then we have the little seashell details down here. So I didn't particularly love the pink marble. I did feel that just felt kind of drab. Was it outdated? I don't know if it was ever really in style. I don't think pink marble like that was ever really in. So to me, it wasn't because it was outdated, it was because it was just ugly. I wanted to switch it. Putting in this gorgeous limestone and painting out the fireplace made a really big difference. Now I see a lot of people that have the brick that's here. I think painting the brick does make the fireplace look a lot more updated. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but even when I had the pink marble, I'll have to try to see if I can dig up a photo. I'd actually painted it black and kept it like that until we had the money to do the rest of the renovations. So now I want to show you some other things we didn't change over this way. Let's talk about this powder bathroom, shall we? Because there's one thing in here that I didn't change that is totally outdated, and that would be sponging. So I left the gold ceiling in here, and the reason why is because I just liked it. It reminded me of the little French cafes. They always have these little like jewel box kind of bathrooms. And I loved the feeling. This is totally something that the French would do, okay? And once I painted these walls out gray, I mean, I really didn't like those paint techniques that we used to do, like the little diamonds and stuff. That felt very dated, and it just really wasn't my style. Sometimes we have to just recognize that some of the stuff that our houses come with, it's just not what we want, you know? And that's what actually is the definition of being outdated. That's why it's like calling something dated really isn't like old, you know? Like you look old. No, it's more like, yeah, you look kind of off trend. That's not nice either. I'm not saving myself here. Okay, so it's not nice. It just wasn't my thing. And sometimes I see people still doing that and I'm like, it's just not my thing. So adding a fresh coat of paint on the walls, but leaving the ceiling created a balance that felt fresh. Switching out the mirror and the sconces in here, well, I did also switch out the vanity, but those things helped the element that was left feel fresh. So you can kind of see how at times I like some of the traditional elements in the house and I leave them. Now, I want to show you another one. This is kind of a pet peeve, okay? One of the things there's one thing that I think really makes a dining room feel dated. First of all, even having a dining room can make it feel super dated because so many people have gotten rid of their dining rooms, right? Okay, so in this room, I had a few things. First of all, it's a dining room. Does it stay as a dining room? Because hardly anyone uses them as formal rooms anymore. Well, I think there's a few things that you should consider. Okay, first of all, the chair rail. They're really not putting this into new homes. And if you ask me, I think it's a bit of a shame. I personally really like the trim work. Unless you have a very modern home and the whole home is very modern, I still like on these East Coast kind of traditional style houses like what we have, I like the trim work to stay. But a lot of times people will take it and paint either the strip in white or below the chair rail all that white. I think by making all of it color drenched, it made the room feel very updated, so it doesn't feel outdated. The other thing that I did is that I put my china cabinet off to the side rather than making it the center point when you walk into the room. So of course, my pieces are also updated. Do you see how updating certain things and playing a balance has created this look of blending, right? The past, the original features with the present. The one thing that I would really like to get rid of is actually the window. The window up there. So a lot of times, they don't even put these into newer homes. It's quirky, we left it. It would be very expensive to try to take that out. It's kind of out of the way, so we just kind of ignore it. It really should have been painted the color of the room, but I always thought that I would eventually change the color of this room and I never did. The other thing that it drives them crazy are these little doors. They're like, why didn't you take them out? I'm like, because my son loves them and does this every single day. So, yeah, he likes coming in and out of this, and it's like his favorite thing. He loves opening them. And here, come through here, I'll show you. Okay, so the thing is that over here is the microwave. So he likes to stand there and look back and like hang out and talk to us. So, because I have got my desk in there. So one of the big things that I did in this room is that I ripped out the kitchen. So a lot of times it's bathrooms and kitchens that can really make a room feel dated. But I think it can go beyond that, because even if you don't have the budget to rip out your kitchen and start over, one of the biggest things that dated this house before was the countertops. So even if you just have the money to switch out the countertops, that can totally give you a refresh. Lay down a cute rug and switch out your lighting. This room also had a fluorescent light in it. So switching it out to a gorgeous chandelier, that totally made a big difference. Now, one of the things I've left that is the OG is the bay window. And I'll tell you why. I have tried every single thought possible about removing these bays. I literally cannot, unless I want to reconfigure the complete outside of the house, and we're talking big bucks. I had to leave it. It's a little bit quirky, and sometimes those are the things that you accept when you buy an older home. Ours was built in '93, and I still just love it. So the other thing that we're working on that we haven't gotten to yet is the deck. So originally when we moved in, we just restained it, and I'm telling you right now, we put a Band-Aid on it, but it needs new wood. So we're currently working on getting that replaced. We've got our samples here. So I get it. Some people, especially if you watch HGTV, they have the budget to do the whole project all at once. I love when my clients have the money to do the whole thing all at once, but there's a lot of us that are working on it little by little. So I hope to encourage you. Sometimes you just leave the original details and it just is what it is. Like in this room, these windows are a little bit short. Who cares, right? Like it just is what it is. It's a quirky house. And to me, it's actually what makes the house feel really homey. So it's the imperfections actually. Sometimes it can make a house feel like it's a home and you're allowed to be imperfect in it. And so it's something that I really like. Switching out the carpeting in here and completely redoing the furniture from what the previous homeowner had made a really big difference. So I think it's stuff like that. You have to really play the balance of switching out things like your furniture, maybe updating the paint. It doesn't mean that it has to cost a fortune, because the flooring is nice, but the paint in that room is everything, and the blinds. Okay, you guys wanna go back to the bedroom? What we really need to do is go to the bathroom, because that was the most outdated room in the entire house, but come on. So I always liked it because we have the primary bedroom on our main level, and I thought that the room looked really outdated when we came in here, and it was like, whoa, blast from the past. And the funny thing is after I painted it to this color, I thought, it's actually really similar to the color that was here before. So that is actually a really good question. If I painted the room back to the color that it was before, why does it not feel outdated? If all the trim work is here and that part is all the same, and even the bed is in the same place, why doesn't it feel outdated? So one of the biggest things that made the room feel updated was actually just taking down the blinds and the window treatments that felt super dated. And we switched out the furniture and the lighting. So you may not do everything in one day, but it proves to me that it isn't always just about staying on trend with the paint and painting out the room this way or that. Sometimes it might be your window treatments that need to be switched out, right? Or maybe you need to go ahead and update your bed to something that to you feels fresh and new. Now, we could spend an entire video in this bathroom because I'm telling you right now, this was the most dated blast from the miserable past bathroom. I have actually left the stained glass window. And the reason why is because it's really expensive to do that. And I was thinking that I would replace all the windows in the house when I went to replace this one. My problem has been is that I don't really want to do modern windows on the house. I've thought about it for almost 10 years, and I really like the traditional windows that came with this house. And when I've seen other people like in the neighborhood, they make them modern, it always feels a little strange to me. So I would like to actually eventually take this out, but I'm sure our neighbors appreciate that they can't see straight in. But the corner tub, the red wallpaper, this was a total gut. This was a total gut. The dead giveaway was the little vanity with the little seat that went under it, but it was kind of nice having that. I do actually kind of miss that feature. So sometimes you have to figure out whether something should stay or not. Those cabinets were in such bad condition. I just hated to spend that kind of money on the flooring and not just switch them out. I'm glad I did. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. And then back here in the closet, come back here to my favorite place in the entire house. That's my closet. One of the biggest things is that actually we just gutted it. The wired shelving that comes in these does just, it's not that it just is dated, it just drives me crazy when stuff's always falling through those little cracks and stuff. So even in the beginning, I removed as much of it as I could and just put bookcases up. So when I went to redo it this time, I did have it done by Space Makers and splurged, right? Nowhere near as much as it would have been with California Closets. I mean, this is literally a fraction of the price, and in my opinion, the quality is actually better. So yeah, you can actually remove that and do bookcases and dressers the way I did before, but I do think that removing that wiring, it just makes it feel like, you know, like a little shop. It's like, ooh, you can tell which shoe I'm wearing today. We'll just fill in the gap. Now I've created another one. But it's like, oh, it just feels like a boutique, and we created like a little fun store feeling up here, and it's a treat. Now let's go upstairs, shall we? And let's go explore some spaces that have been updated and what I did to them. Now you can see why I love this house. I mean, how awesome is this, right? Like having this big open space. These homes that we call dated actually sometimes have incredible features. And that's what I love, is that it's really hard to find a house with this kind of openness. I mean, that's what I love. That's why I love these homes. So let me meet you up there though, because I want to chat with you. All right, as I'm coming up here, you're seeing another one of the original quirky windows that stayed. So you can kind of see how we really mixed things, right? All right, guys, we have one rule in the house. If you've watched any of my past videos, you know what it is. If you walk down this catwalk, you have to strut. It's like this. Come on, let's see you. Come on. Okay, welcome to Haley's room. It's this just absolutely magical, magical space. I love how we've got like all the books and all the pretty little things. And I think that this room, I feel like painting it wasn't the thing that made it feel a lot more updated, although the yellow did feel a little bit outdated. To me, it was the furniture. We really haven't done anything else. We still got her bathroom to renovate. But this room, it was about furniture placement. And that's why I thought it'd be fun to talk you through everything's original, right? Like we just painted out the doors and color drenched the room to make it feel a little bit more updated. But that's it. Like we didn't spend any other money on the space. I mean, I did actually put the wood floor down, which does help to me, but that's not really outdated, right? What really made it feel old and just kind of tired was the furnishings that were in here before. And so by reconfiguring the room and giving it a little bit more of a modern configuration, right? That really changed the entire feel of the room, because literally all we did was paint and decorate the room ourselves. So I wanted to show you how sometimes something can feel so dated, right? And I love her little window over here. She just looks out right over the trees, and it's just the prettiest room. But sometimes when you go to see, like, because I work in real estate and design, I get to see a lot of different houses, and people walk in and they can't see the potential of a little quirky room like this. And what we did is that we painted out all the little bits, right, in the same color and really color drenched in here. And it really made the room feel really fresh and new. And then of course the furnishings. Let me show you Parker's room though. Don't forget, you've got to strut your stuff. Strut, strut, strut. Shake it, girl. This is why I fell in love with this house. It felt like something out of like a Nancy Meyers film. And I have made the video where I said, oh my goodness, Nancy Meyers, like her kitchens are, you know, a little bit messy for me. I don't need to design it that way. This room to me is just so magical. And we had so many iterations on it. It has the original windows, which can make a room feel very dated, but by color drenching those with the walls, and then, I mean, that's what's so crazy. It's just the difference between furniture. We just took down some of the older shelving and again, modern layouts. Really thinking through how you can really utilize this space. If you guys step back over there, I'll show you this area. Oh, we need to get the cord put back. I don't know. They must have been playing with their game station. Well, now I sound like I'm 1,000 years old.
Yeah, you sound dated.
Now I sound dated. The game station, they're going to cringe if they hear that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this space is about putting up really elegant, right, beautiful modern curtains, putting in the trees and the artwork. I mean, even just these dried branches, it's like such a work of art in here. And also putting the mirrors up over the nightstands, modern artwork. We really didn't change a whole lot. The other thing, of course, that we changed is by painting the doors out black over here. But these are really, everything we're talking about is paint. Switching out the floors definitely helped bring it up, like, you know, just a little bit, but I wouldn't say that that really made it feel super updated. I think just the furnishings themselves, and that's why when I make these like outdated videos, I'm always like, I always feel bad because I'm like, this is actually, it's easier than you think. It's not always, it doesn't always require a massive renovation to redo your space and to make it feel updated. That's what gets me excited, is sometimes like rooms like this, they don't need a whole lot besides paint and maybe some lighting. I do think that switching out like the light switches, they need to be switched out anyways. A lot of times they aren't even up to code anymore, and you definitely don't want to have your house burned down. They're ugly to look at. Why not just switch them out, right? As you have money, that's what we did. Little by little, just switched out all the outlets and all the switches and all the little door handles, the hinges, right? Like just little by little, we just started to make these small updates that just made the house feel fresh and new, not quite so squeaky. We still have a few squeaks in the floor, even though we thought we got rid of all of them. We put that floor down, but I think that's what makes a house feel really special and homey. But let's go back downstairs, shall we? Let's go stand by that fire. All right, guys. Well, I hope I've shown you that sometimes it's a good idea to keep some of the dated things, the whole thing about this. And what I tell every single one of my clients, and I want to pass on to you, is that your house is yours. And the things that you love about it, you should definitely keep. Even if someone says it's outdated, who cares? If it's something that you love, to this day, do I love modern fireplaces? Yes. But for me, I still love these original details. They're what to me make this house have all that specialness to it. So just because something is dated doesn't mean you have to take it out. But at the same time, when it is, sometimes it can be really easy fixes, like taking down blinds, and then eventually, right, you're pulling the whole thing together. But I hope I've encouraged you just a little bit with a fun little tour and just seeing what we've done over the last 9 years to really just recreate our dream home here in this gorgeous little cottage. So make sure you are a subscriber, give the video a big thumbs up, and let me know if there's anything out of the video today or out of our home tour, something that you really loved, something that left you feeling really inspired. Maybe you think that we should have changed something. It's okay to let me know. But yeah, or maybe something that you wish we would have kept. Ooh, should we have kept the beige walls in here or put them back? Oh, the drama. Well, anyways, we love you guys so much. We'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye for now.